popcorn. We are two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me, and Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault. Episode 400. 400.
400.
Episode 400. 400. This is Medium Popcorn Niggas Ball Movies. Bitches.
I was going to say something really religious, like bless the Lord, to be in line with the movie and stuff like that.
Not with what we're going to be saying after. We can't follow that with... Come on now.
Hey, everybody, it's Brandon Collins.
Guys, and it's Justin Brown.
And as Justin said, we're Medium Popcorn Niggas Spoiling Movies, joined with a returning special guest, Tatiana.
Hello, how's everyone doing?
With her radio voice.
Ow.
Ow.
Brought you back on to break down our 400th episode, which also happens to be another Tyler Perry movie.
Lord.
This one's been a long time coming. We've done a few Tyler Perry movies. This one, there's no reason why it took us so long for us to do this.
Yeah, this is something different.
I mean, I love me a good Tyler Perry movie, though.
That's the thing. Let's talk about it now. Was this good? Because I enjoy watching this movie. Anytime it's on TV, I stop and I watch it. It's like my Black Casino. I just watch it.
But it's
so crazy.
But because it's batshit crazy. It's not even like a good, like, I mean, this is like written for the screen, directed by, produced by, like everything by Tyler Perry.
I think this is such a crazy movie because, like, you would imagine that who's the main character? What's her name?
Journey?
Judith.
No, Judith. Well, Journey's character, Judith. You would think that she was on full blown crack with where she went with this.
Yeah, the way she was playing Judith all drugged up, I was like, what is she on?
Yeah,
It's not cocaine. It's not heroin.
Well, she was doing cocaine.
Yeah, she was doing loads
Yeah,
of
but
coke.
you don't do like...
Well, how would you know?
Yeah, Brandon, how do you know, man?
Because I've seen people on cocaine. They're all wired.
Have you seen people on cocaine right in front of you? Have you watched somebody take cocaine and rub it all over their gums?
Yeah.
And get it all nice and I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's uppers and downers, and usually people who are spiraling tend to take both.
I mean, she is spiraling because
because she would drink alcohol, you know.
Yeah, because they kept going to that whack ass club that looked worse than a homie's place in Power.
Who?
Now, here's the thing about that club.
Which one?
No, the club that they went.
I thought you were talking about Ghost's Club.
No, the club where Lance Gross's character finds her later on in the movie.
Yeah.
It's like, so first of all,
is that a club or is it his house?
No,
It was a club. That was a club.
That was a club.
Where he goes in and tries to grab her, and she's like, I don't want to go with you. I was like, what kind of cheap-ass
And
club
then,
is
and
this?
then she storms off.
Well, that's the thing, too. I didn't realize how skinny Journey is.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in this movie. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, when she's moving, she looks like olive oil.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. Like one of those things that flaps in the wind to let you know there's a car sale.
Yeah.
Just like, what's going on?
Did you say the title of the movie, though? Because I don't think I heard it.
Temptation, Confessions of a Marriage Counselor. And it's called that because we open with Judith, not played by Journey Smollett, which we'll talk about in a second.
Cuckoo bananas.
Who is counseling a young couple. The husband gets up immediately. He's like, I'm done with this. I'm done.
Wait. Hold on. Before he gets up and says, I'm done, he says, just tell me what you want me to do. I can change. And she says, just stop doing that. He's like, I can't take it. I can't. Let me get up. I'm getting out of here. At least it's like, obviously, you are not willing to do the work, my nigga. Like, what's going on? He completely contradicted himself half a second later.
But they're talking about whether they want kids or not. And it just like goes like far beyond just like, I want kids, but I don't know if we're ready to bring them into the world. It's like, what do you want me to do? And it's like,
And then he storms off, and she's like, he deserves better. Judith is immediately able to ascertain that means they're having an affair.
Yeah.
And she's like, let me tell you a story about my sister. And then the whole movie is this story. And at the end, she's like, and everyone had AIDS. And the woman's just like, the woman's just like, thank you for telling me the story. That's what you pay for? For her to just tell the story about HIV and adultery.
Well, that's the thing. Imagine going to a
Technically,
counselor.
we all pay for that story.
Imagine going to a counselor and you're paying a marriage counselor good money.
Yep.
Good money. And in some cases, your insurance is not covering all of that. And then she goes, let me tell you a story about my sister. Bitch, that is definitely a story about you. But regardless, and you have to sit through a counselor rambling on and on about her sister for just ridiculous amounts of times. Yo, she got fully tricked. She is now the counselor. And now and you're helping counsel the counselor in her own bullshit.
Well, that's the whole Ponzi scheme of counseling, though.
can we talk about how the opening credits, they're like these O's that just linger and they move from like name to name.
Yeah, Tyler Perry does that.
And I was just like, is this supposed to be sexy? Like O for orgasm? You know, because it's called Temptation. But I like legitimately could not understand why the O. Like of all the letters, why O? Yeah. But then the opening scene is the scene that y'all are describing. But they're in an office, and outside the office makes it look like a public servant office. It's like really busy and loud. And
it was very Mariah Carey and Precious.
Yeah, they have glass windows, and I was just like, are there public marriage counselors?
It almost looked like it was. It almost looked like it was like the unemployment.
yeah, it was really wild.
And these had this marriage counselor section. It's just like, well, this nigga ain't working, and neither are you. Why don't you come get some counseling about it? So
they really threw me off for what the movie. And Brendan and I have seen this many a time. That like opening always throws me off as being like, what kind of counseling what kind of facility is this that is that busy and that loud?
Yeah.
What's crazy about this movie is, to me, it's one of the best shot Tyler Perry movies. But it's like when you watch it, you wouldn't know that it's a Tyler Perry movie, except for the performances.
Well,
like,
except for the script.
That too.
And the fact is, like,
Vanessa Williams is talking in a French accent.
And
That's
Jesus
cuckoo
is
fucking
brought
bananas.
up whenever they can, and
Everyone gets HIV at the end.
dude. And the fact is, it's
Everything
like the
about this
HIV
screams.
thing just gets dropped, just comes out of nowhere. Literally comes out of nowhere. Brandy's just like, I have HIV. Like, what?
Because they're at her little shack or whatever the fuck she was staying at.
Yeah.
With the only room looked like it was the kitchen and the table.
well, it's a studio.
And,
she ran away from a domestic violence situation.
She's like, I have HIV. I really wish that Harley would go away. And he's like,
Harley?
Judith! She's like, what? He's like, Judith!
Not the age. Not my Judas in the age.
He just keeps screaming, Judith. She's like, what are you talking about? It's like, Judith! And then he finally was like, she's with him. And I'm like, okay, you say that first. So, just screaming out his wife's name and looking at a mental breakdown.
So it's so weird because like Judith.
Also, he and Brandy did have good chemistry. I thought they were going to hook up. And then she dropped the 8. I remember the first time I watched it, I'm like, oh, they're going to hook up, but it's going to be a happy ending.
Yeah.
And she's like, I have HIV. I was like, God damn.
Like, oh, I guess they're not going to bone.
What were you saying, Tati?
No, I was gonna say just in general how like Judith, the marriage counselor, when she drops the whole, let me tell you a story about my sister. And she like brings it from like when her sister was like her quote unquote sister. Is like a little girl, like we grew up in the
She
bayou.
got mad country. She
like,
got
like
mad
it
country.
was just like you don't need all that. You'd be like, my sister married her high school sweetheart. Boom. We just forwarded 40 minutes into this movie.
Well, but also at the same time, where the fuck are they from? That they were living in a shack in a backwoods. I don't even know where that was. They never said.
And they went to Sunday church all the time together.
No, they went to church twice on Sundays.
Mm-hmm. And also Bryce's, who's her longtime boyfriend and then husband. His whole dream is to have a small pharmacy in the city.
Yeah, of all things, a small not like he wants to own his own pharmacy. He wants to work at a small pharmacy and hopes to own it one day.
That was fucking crazy.
I mean, he also was driving around that old ass truck. He was making enough money as a pharmacist to be able to get a new car.
Yo.
First of all, we don't know if it was a mom and pop shop and what kind
Pharmacists
of money.
make pretty good money, though.
Yeah, when you work for CVS.
But he wanted to purposely work for a small pharmacy.
Listen,
he could have made bank. They would have hired him in a second with that afro.
I'm not going to rag on the ride because I don't drive, but
That was a rough ride.
You mean to tell me that these kids who are childhood sweethearts, they've been together for what, like, I don't know,
19 years.
16 years or something, and married for 6?
He knew her for 19 years, and then they got married.
They've been married for 6 years.
They knew each other since kids.
Yeah.
They were kids, yeah.
They've been married for 6 years by the time the movie picks up to where all this, fireworks
After their wedding and the whole overview, if smiles were dollars, they'd be millionaires. Mm-hmm. I was like, God damn it.
Oh, and I just have to get this out before I forget. My man's truck, it looked like the nigga's truck from Jeepers Creepers.
Well, so did their shanty in the backwoods.
Yes, it did. 100%. Yeah. It had a slide that goes down to a basement.
Well, the reason why I was pointing out like the amount of time they'd been together is because the downfall is like that he doesn't pay attention to her anymore.
He forgot her birthday.
And he forgot her birthday 2 years in a row. And I'm like, I've been in a long-term relationship. I ain't never forget your birthday. You won't let me forget your birthday because at the beginning of June, you're like, it's my birthday month.
Wakes up in the middle of the night. Wakes up at fucking 5:45.
I got a candle in my hand.
Like, it's my birthday.
What you get me for my birthday, T? No, but like literally, if y'all are like madly in love and destined together since childhood, how would you forget someone's birthday?
Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you this. I've just like dated women casually, and I didn't forget their birthdays. Mm-hmm. If you have to be another level of fucking
negligence,
to forget a woman's birthday after you've known her for 19 plus fucking years. Yeah. That's insane.
And you move to a new city and stuff. You don't
all
really,
he knows.
You don't know anybody. You got Kim Kardashian over here with the just aggressive burns for no reason, like just shitting all over.
She works at a shop with the mom from the room. Like, what's he does.
Well,
he works at the.
What was up with that old white woman? Because she
was cuckoo.
Was she the owner?
I don't know who the fuck she was.
Because they had that scene where Brandy's talking about how the Harley apparently comes to the pharmacy. She freaks out why Harley would come into that small ass pharmacy. No idea. And she's freaking out
to get his AIDS medication.
But they're like listening to her. They're just sitting there listening to her tell the story. And she's like, I guess I have to leave now. I'm like, you probably gonna because you should be fired right now.
Well, beyond
you're on the floor.
Well, this is company time.
Like, what are you doing?
Well, beyond the fact that she probably got the job at the pharmacy because she's probably lifting AIDS medication. So she probably was stealing something. Think about it.
I mean, I know that.
How do they not know that she has AIDS? If she has, if she works at the pharmacy, she's probably going to get her medication from them.
She probably goes to our pharmacy. So they.
Well, I mean, you can't discriminate. So
But he's just like AIDS. I can't believe it.
Well, he's a good doctor. He's not really.
He's not a doctor. He's a pharmacist.
Well, I mean, they go to enough schooling, but it's so weird because it's almost like so. When I was like watching the trailers to like refresh my memory, this is literally like the top billing. It is Journey Smollett, the actor who plays Bryce. What is his name?
Lance Gross.
Lance Gross. Then Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
Then Kim Kardashian's the third bill. Mm-hmm. Then Vanessa Williams. Then the guy who plays Harley, and then Brandy. And I was like, I mean, maybe it's like a sign of the times. I think this came out in 2013.
2013, yeah.
But I was just like, Kim Kardashian gets the third billing and she's only in it for like 10 minutes.
I remember at the time that was like a big draw. They were like, Kim Kardashian's like acting in the Tyler Perry movie.
Like, oh my God.
And she's like, the third largest social media mogul since Zuckerberg.
Yeah. Okay. If Harley is as famous and as smart as they all say he is, people would have known how much of a piece of shit he is, though.
That's true.
Because he has no chill after he finally gets in her pants.
But then again, at the same time, this is right before social media really went crazy. Only way people would know would be Facebook. By this point, Instagram wasn't popping yet.
Twitter was kind of getting there.
Yeah, but not enough where people would have been like, "Hey, this nigga Harley is the biggest piece
What about
of shit on the
TMZ
face of the
though?
earth." TMZ, but that was still a tabloid at that point. Anybody could write you. TMZ was still reporting about aliens and shit. So nobody was listening to them.
To be fair, they were proven right because of this whole UFO shit. We don't talk about that. How like there's actual UFOs and shit confirmed by the FBI.
Well, listen, man.
We are
Yeah,
not
but you know
alone.
when the CIA and the FBI start releasing shit on aliens, is because the government's doing some fucked up shit, and they're like, squirrel. so we don't pay attention to what the fuck they're really trying to do.
I mean that is a very good point. That is a very good point, but also could be seen as very conspiracy theorists. Like tinfoil hat. So, do you want to go down that road?
I mean, do I? Like, listen, the FBI drops UFOs the same way Tyler Perry drops AIDS in every movie. So
You got a point.
like out of left field.
got a
Also,
point.
racist old white people, because that old woman at the pharmacy, when she's talking to Brandy about potentially hiring her, she's like, I do random checks on the register.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I mean,
Random. And she says like 3 times. It's like, okay.
Brandy looks weird, right?
She got AIDS.
No, but like her face, the way like her face is proportioned, it makes her look like an alien.
Well, that's because
mean-
she may look a little weird because she killed people with her car.
Oh no.
That's That's right. We could talk about
I was playing
Brandy.
to the
She's
character,
a murderer.
but
She's a
damn.
murderer.
I know. I honestly just think it's the wig. I think that in combination, and then I think she's gotten her teeth fixed. So it's a little.
I mean, I think it's also the fact that
She's
the
also
boy
really
is hers.
I mean, the boy should have been hers. Her and the actor Lance Gross had good chemistry.
No,
Journey
wait,
and
no,
Lance
no,
Gross
no.
did not
Hold
have
on.
good
Time
chemistry.
out. No, the boy should never be hers because she was up against Monica. There's no way that the boy is choosing her over Monica. Sorry, not going to happen. And that boy was supposedly Kobe Bryant. And I like to look at Kobe and say he has better taste than that.
Oh no, that's terrible.
No, he did. No, because he took Brandy to her prom, and then he took Monica to her prom.
I mean, it's probably because he met Ray J, and he was like, I can't fuck with you, Brandy.
No, I'm pretty sure it's because Monica's just just something different.
Wait, no, I thought Brandy did wrote or co-wrote The Boy Is Mine because of Kobe Bryant, but they had to do it like Vanessa Bryant, nothing to do with Monica. It's just that she and Monica had been beefing forever. They were like, let's do this together.
I could have swore it was
because Vanessa Bryant ain't getting on no track, so
that's true.
I mean, we could both be wrong. We could both be right. Who knows?
I just wrote down Brandy. Her eyes look wild in some of these scenes, and that scene when Bryce goes to beat the shit out of Harley at his house, who's all drugged up and stuff still, and then Brandy's just he's like he looks at it, he's like, Melinda, and she's like, you're never gonna see me again, Harley. I'm not afraid of you. And then I'm like, what is going on? Also, why did Bryce is going to jail, right? He assaulted Harley.
I mean,
Okay.
he should be going to jail.
Well, can we talk about how like we bouncing around everywhere?
Yes, but it's a Tyler Perry movie.
It's fine. But like, so Harley comes into the thing. Kim Kardashian just like cuts freaking Judith's ass all over the place. Vanessa Williams has her French accent. It's just like
Terrible.
I mean, it's intentionally bad. Who the fuck knows at this point? This whole movie is
But she
like,
does a fake accent for the rich clients that she gets and stuff.
but my whole thing is though, is like this guy comes in, they're trying to create, I guess, like a matchmaking.
Because he's a millionaire matchmaker or something. Yeah.
No, but he's trying to like pair up with her
Like a
to
tech
make the
mogul.
app.
Yeah.
Right? To create like this app. And for some reason, he hasn't vetted this, like her business. Like he's the one with the money. So why would Kim Kardashian be taking notes on like his questions and things? Like this is just bigger than these two people talking. There would be so many more people involved. And then Journey somehow was brought in because she's like their lead marriage counselor. I was just like bringing the why is Judith in this movie in this meeting?
Also, because Judith is in that meeting, and then he goes, "Hey, who are you? What do you do?" And she's just like, "Oh, I'm the marriage counselor." Yeah, that's right. You're standing right next to this fucking woman who's all done up right now. But something about a frumpy looking woman in a oversized sweater vest that really gets me going. I want you.
He liked what he
Makes
liked.
zero sense.
Well, maybe he
No.
sees like the potential because she becomes a little hottie,
Yeah, it's like she's
a little
all that.
hottie thotty. Oh, after her little Kardashian makeover.
She becomes a thought. She becomes a straight thought. Not hottie thotty, it's a thought.
Oh, can we talk about how like he clearly like fucking stalks her?
Oh
No, she stalks him.
No,
Remember with the jogging
they
thing?
Well, they both stalk each other.
I think that's what I think. Like, it like wasn't overtly sort of like put out there, but he mentions the jogging thing. Like, oh, sometimes I go jogging at blah 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 park, and she's like, oh my god, with your shirt off. And then when he goes into the pharmacy, like, what's the coincidence? I think that he like knows that Bryce is her
He probably doing some
husband
Omar
and is-
Epps hacking shit, finding out what's going on. But Journey, I mean, she pops up jogging. She's like, oh, and he's just like, ha ha, funny seeing you here. And I'm just like, I hate everything about this movie.
Can we also just talk about the fact that even before Judith breaks bad and goes after Harley, she's the worst kind of wife. She and her husband are walking down the street after a fucking dinner. Three men start saying some bullshit, and then she starts going crazy and start cursing these guys out. Her husband's like, get in the car, because he's obviously not about that life. She's ready to get them killed. That's not what you want to do. That is not the best.
She was. I think she did that to try to see if Bryce was going to step up.
But that's the thing.
Defend her
She's
honor.
going to get him killed. And then she gets mad at him. She's like, I just don't like feeling unsafe. Stuff like that. It's just like, you made yourself feel very unsafe in that moment because you made it worse.
Are you man enough? Are you man enough to fight for niggas for me?
In this case, 3 niggas.
It's like really odd because they pose. I mean, I grew up in a city, so I don't know, maybe I'm all hardened, but like this, like, oh, growing up in the sticks and being all country, and you got Jesus, and you go to the big city and you get the devil in you.
Oh yeah.
And all of a sudden she's like acting different when I actually think that it's always just been that they only know each other, and because their town was so small, it was like, oh yeah,
She never saw the other options, but neither did Bryce.
Based on this town, we're perfect for each other. But they're like in DC, Washington DC, right?
Yeah,
or some shit
yeah.
like that. There are millions of people. Of course they're gonna be like, damn, maybe you
I didn't know there was
one.
other stock available in the market.
Can we talk about though how Harley is talking to Judith? I forget where in this movie. I don't know if it's before they hook up or right after it. And he basically like tries to throw shade at Bryce by calling him like a regular, like he's like a regular guy.
Yeah.
Like he's like a regular dude.
Yeah.
I was like, he is a black pharmacist who put on a cowboy hat and a guitar
Dancing to Otis Redding.
and try to like sex you up like that. Like nothing about that was regular.
And also, it is Lance Grope. He's Cock Diesel. He's in phenomenal shape, especially for a black pharmacist. He should look like fucking Mr. Burns, but this motherfucker's out here looking like Michael B. Jordan a la Creed. So it's like,
I was like,
he's kind of exceptional.
I literally was like, nothing about this dude is regular in this movie.
Yeah, she's like, I want a phenomenal person. I was like, if my wife had read me like that, I would be like, okay, well, this is definitely done. Oh, holy shit, he's just crying, and then he breaks the window to his car. I'm like, I mean, you pulled up to a club in that truck, homie. Like, you weren't gonna have a happy ending.
It wasn't gonna be a good day for you.
And he's just stewing too. Okay, here's also a continuity issue, right? The whole thing with Judith and Harley gets crazy. He starts showing his really aggressive, abusive side. Eventually beats her, right? During that scene when she's like, they go to his house to get a computer, and the mom is doing the weird prayer circle and stuff like that, to then her getting beat up by Harley. We cut back to the same fucking scene with Bryce and Brandy, where they're just talking. And I'm like, is he living with her, or is this supposed to be the same scene, and they just don't give a fuck about how the timelines line up? Did y'all see that?
I think that it's the same. I think it's like the same moment, right? Like they're just having a good conversation, because when Judith goes home, it's just the mom and her friends that are there.
Yeah, which is crazy that Bryce just lets her have a prayer circle.
Well, that's his
also
mother-in-law.
the fact is, but the mother-in-law, I could have swore she left. She left and went back home. So she left and she went all the way back down to Alabama, where the fuck they're from.
Picked up the aunties.
And then she was just like, everybody, the devil's afoot. We need to go back to D.C.
I mean, she literally makes a face like the devil is alive when Harley drops off Judith after fucking her.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a rape, right? She said no several times. She's like, I mean?
She's like, she said stop, but then he goes,
if it's uncomfortable, I was not.
Then he says to her, now you can tell him that you at least tried to fight me off. And then he starts making out with her, and then she's completely succumbs. So like, it was rather predatory, but I think it was one of those things where she was down, but she was just like, no, don't do this to me, as she's slowly unbuttoning her blouse.
And she was like opening her legs, and she was like,
I mean, to be fair, they went on a date before this private plane back home.
No. They didn't go on a date. They went on a full day. They had an entire fucking day planned.
They were in a horse carriage and shit, sucking on oysters and sucking on those hurricanes and stuff.
Them beignets. They're down there eating them beignets.
I was like, they're going to take some shits and they're going to fuck. That's what's going to happen.
Why is it that anytime you're like, the shits?
Because in New Orleans, you have some good food, you let it out, then you enjoy yourself.
The protein fats.
Still don't like it.
Oh God! What episode was that?
It's Magic Mike.
Magic Mike.
Magic
Guys,
Mike.
if you haven't heard the Magic Mike episode, go back and listen to Brandon talk about protein. It's absolutely crazy.
And Brandon turns into an old Jewish guy.
Those protein farts, hoi coin livin'.
You get the protein farts.
There's just something about protein that really doesn't sit well with me.
Also, what?
Okay, no, but seriously.
Yeah.
How? Okay. And like, obviously, temptation, we get it.
Temptation Island.
Bryce is the only person Judith has ever been with. But is Bryce not putting it down good enough that she gets dicked down one time by Harley and she's like,
Well,
fuck my mama, fuck my husband. Like,
doesn't she tell Harley that her husband's still a better lover than he is?
No. He says you're the best.
Oh, damn. She said it so low I couldn't really hear. So
No,
like,
yeah, because
I pray that she said that.
She was saying it all mouse. She's like, no, that dick is something else. the devil rises from your pants. No, I mean,
Medium popcorn.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Grandmaster Odell Stubbs, Grandmaster of Kung Fu, Karate, and Jiu-Jitsu. And it's with a heavy heart
that I have to tell you that Grandmaster's Parker Style is actually being shut down. Unfortunately, our inaugural day was actually happened to be the same day as some big Crip function going on at that same park, and we were wearing red, and obviously things didn't go the way that we wanted to. I also like to say rest in peace to Uncle Bunky, who was on the grill. He didn't make it. I mean, the ribs were delicious, but he'll forever be in our hearts. Either way, we will be relocating over to the church on Delamar, the church in Delamar, and it's in the deep basement, and unfortunately, folks, there is mold, there is asbestos, but don't worry, we will wear masks, and we will be safe, and I will learn and teach you the secret arts of jujitsu, kung fu, and yes, that's what I got, guys. All right, goodbye.
Medium popcorn.
But I mean, at the same time, you also put the fact is Harley's only been with her. I'm not Harley. Bryce has only been with her.
Yeah.
Harley has a wealth of experience.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing with the woman's body. Bryce over here, he's still sitting there, jacking off into a sock. He's watching that softcore porn. Bryce, Harley over here.
He got his own membership to Pornhub and stuff. You know what time it is.
He's all signed up. He's using the dark web.
That's why he stays all fit. Even though you would think that all the time that they spend together, she would have peeped him having to take his medication and stuff.
True.
She essentially moves in with him.
Or he doesn't care. And that's the whole thing, is that Brandy leaves because she's in the abusive relationship. She can't take it anymore. But clearly he gave her HIV, so Brandy's taking care of herself and he isn't.
Is that why at the end Brandy looks exactly the same? Bryce for some reason looks 20 years older, and then Judith is recast? I was like, what?
Well,
what kind of alternate universe?
Judith has a limp. It's just
yeah, she walked like she's a 70-year-old woman.
Yes, she did. Is that what AIDS does to you?
Well, Brandy was fine though.
But
yeah, Brandy didn't look a lick over when she was introduced. All of a sudden, he has 2 kids, gray hair. He looking like Obama.
hold on. First of all, Lance Gross looked crazy at the end of this movie. His all of a sudden he got this this fucking I can't even like a Temptations grayed out fucking flat top, which was kind of like a half-row, and he just looked madness, pure madness.
But then it was they couldn't even make that work with journeys, and they're just like, hey, so for the opening and closing, we're just gonna recast you.
No, because come on, the surprise was supposed to be, and Judith is me, and that's why they.
You really think okay, because this isn't for kids, right? No. This is not for kids.
What part of this movie makes you think Medea's not in it? It's not for kids.
Exactly. What logical adult is watching this not knowing that journey, that the counselor is Judith? This ain't Saving Private Ryan where it's a fake out where you think it's fucking Tom Hanks and then it ends up being Matt Damon's character. This ain't like that. It's clearly she's supposed to be Judith. No. But for some reason they recast it.
No, it's very intentional from the beginning where she's like, you're cheating on your husband, right? The other guy brings you flowers and tells you things.
I know all these things because I did it too.
And she's
baby, let me tell you a story about my sister.
But she's also positing that the guy that the woman would be cheating with is a millionaire like Harley.
No, she's she's recognizing
the good things that are happening.
You feel bad. You're saying he's a nice guy because you're clearly cheating on him. Mm. And let me tell you a story about how I know that.
Let me tell you about how this leads to AIDS.
Which is the ending of almost all Tyler Perry movies. So yeah.
I'm surprised no electric slide happened.
I'm just I didn't see the chemistry between Judith and Harley. I peeped that Harley's a piece of shit from the beginning. Even when he's trying to be smooth, it's it's weird. He says, he's like, does your husband know where you are? She's like, no. He's like, if you were mine, I want to know. I'm like, that's not endearing. That's some stalker shit.
Oh, if you were mine, I want to know who you're talking to. He doesn't know who you're talking to. I was like, first of all, That's
Not good.
All of this. These are red flags. But also, he's telling her how, like, when two people, the sex has to be animalistic. Have sex anywhere. He's like, you're getting turned on, aren't you? She's like, no. It's like, who says that to a grown woman? Like, you're getting turned on, aren't you?
But that's the whole like predator versus prey thing, right? So
I thought you were about to say Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, that too. No,
that would be Brandy.
But that's the whole like predator thing, right? Like he knows, he's clearly, if he's this tech mogul, I'm sure he did his research on her and recognizes that she's like this country bumpkin who doesn't have much experience outside of her husband. So it's easy to manipulate her. But also, as a marriage counselor, isn't she like trained to pick up on this herself?
Well, he fills out the question, the survey thing, and then she's just like, oh, you have this. So she's like, you have the evil, so you have a mean streak to you. Just from the answers. But she doesn't see all the other shit that he's pulling, like immediately following this how she read him is just like, but you're blind to all of this.
Also, for these millionaire matchmaker things, I would imagine that they have some type of testing where they have to do like, make sure that the people, their clients aren't like, don't have infections. And stuff
He wasn't a part of the matchmaking service.
Got it, because he was looking to partner with Vanessa Williams' character. And stuff.
Yeah.
So he's there to just develop the tech based on whatever her technique is. And so that's when I understand Judith to be in play, being like she's a counselor there. So she's giving him the rundown of what they would normally do with a client so that he can see how the tech would.
And then he's trying to basically build that, take her survey and then basically use that in an algorithm, the way that they can match people and yada, yada, yada. So basically, he's turning her business into a Match.com.
Okay.
So
which at this time already existed. So it seems a bit redundant.
But I'm guessing what he's trying to do is like make, was it Raya? The one for like
rich people,
the rich people, exclusive people, dating app. So I think that's kind of what it is. But I also think like, all right, first I know she said that he has he has a mean streak, but when they're running in the park and she clearly runs into that bike, and then he goes, he's like, say something, and starts to try to fight this guy, and she stops him. That would have been a big, huge red sign right there.
Another huge red flag when Vanessa Williams is like, when she's going in her own practice that Harley's gonna fucking invest in and shit, and Vanessa Williams is like, be careful. I'm like,
whoa, no.
Oh no, that's before when she goes to the New Orleans trip.
Yeah, she's just like,
she's essentially pimping her out.
She's just like, listen. I tell all my girls, it's like these guys, there's something fucking different. You got to be careful. They are not to be trifled with. And she's just like, I'm married.
Journey's performance was all over the place in this.
Yeah.
Especially when she's in those silver pants with her skinny chicken legs and she's getting mad at Harley or whatever. I keep wanting to call him Royal for some reason.
Royal. Just renaming everybody.
But yeah, I mean, he pushes her mom. They're both high as hell. He just parks in the middle of the street. It's just like, go around.
And then he walks in, and then they're doing the Polaris. He's like, yeah, I gotta get in some of this. He's just bobbing his shoulders and shit. I'm like, what is happening right now?
When he did that, I thought you could have played that role.
What the fuck is that, Brandon?
I thought you could have played.
You think that this is how I would act in these moments?
Maybe.
So the thing is that like, okay, if we're just gonna play devil's advocate here, she's clearly not thrilled in her marriage, and Harley is exhibiting all the things her husband doesn't, and that's why that's so enticing to her.
Yeah, he's really confident. He cares about materialistic things.
So when she sort of like bucks up at those three guys, she wants to see her man sort of like fight for her, and that's where Harley, and like when she runs into the bike and Harley does that, so she's just being like, ew.
Yes, but also if Harley bucked up against those three again, Harley would have got killed. Harley would have got his ass. He's a skinny little guy.
I mean, Bryce fucked him up.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
well, yes, but I'm saying like Harley is like.
Also-
Like they should have actually switched the roles and had Lance Gross play Harley's role.
I was going to say
Harley
that
play because
Lance Gross is a better looking dude.
well,
Yeah,
that too.
yeah.
I think Lance
very
Gross.
much so.
Yeah, I mean he's a little bit bulkier, but like I was like, he's not like this bald dude isn't. He's maybe at a 7, but Lance Gross is like a 9.7.
Yeah.
9.7. What would get you to a 10? What would Lance Gross have to do to get you to rate him a 10?
Shape that hair up a little bit because like Justin said at the end, he looked at all kinds of fucked up.
But that's not him. That's not a. That was a.
That's
a
the hair design.
studio
That's the
choice.
hair design to make it.
We're not talking about the character. We're
talking
talking
about
about
him
Lance
as a
Gross.
Oh,
person.
Lance Gross as a person.
You say he's a 9.7.
Yes.
What-
What would have gotten him a 10 if he starred in like one of my favorite movies or something?
But he can't help that. He don't cast himself.
He can't help that. He probably auditioned. He probably just didn't get it yet. You know, he's working on it.
I don't know any other movies he's been. Other
Me
than
neither.
Tyler
That's
Perry
what I'm
stuff.
trying to think about. I'm like,
But
And
at
now
the
that
same
Michael
time,
B. Jordan exists, he ain't gonna know.
you know what? If Michael B. Jordan wasn't around, Lance Gross would probably be a bigger actor. To be totally honest.
there's 39. He's a little bit older. Yeah, he's been in a lot of Tyler Perry stuff.
Yes, only Tyler Perry stuff, which is a shame for him. I thought that he could have broken out and done more.
Yeah.
But you know,
He and Sterling K. Brown can definitely be like play brothers or something.
yeah. They could do a buddy cop movie.
I mean, this movie though. Lance Gross is definitely the best actor in this movie, but that's when you're like going to what you guys are saying about the script, because that I keep going back to that Judith screaming scene where Brandy's like, you know, in her rustic kitchen and shit that's clearly ant infested, and then she's just like, you know,
Termites.
she's like, Harley gave me HIV. You know, I'm so afraid, and he's like, Judith, and then he runs to the house. He somehow able to break into that millionaire's house.
Yo, he bashed through that door like he was fucking Jim Brown coming to a fucking offense.
We know rich people don't close their door though, so he probably didn't even have to go through that. He probably just had to turn the knob and push
But
it.
hold on a second. This nigga's a billionaire. He'd definitely be living in a better place than
Yes.
Yeah.
He had a 1-bedroom house.
I mean, it
looked weird.
I've
I
only
mean, it was
been to
also
DC once, so I can't really judge it.
Oh no,
But
DC's got some fucking. He would at least had like a huge house or like
But
building.
were they alluding that he's like only in town visiting and stuff? Because
No.
why else would he go to that small pharmacy?
Because he's stalking Judith.
Yeah, he wants to check out her man. Stand by
He
your mom.
well, that or he's stalking his ex-wife. The whole point is he's stalking somebody.
Yeah, I mean, he's a creep, man. All right, well, okay. Here's another thing. Can we also talk about the most savage line I may have ever heard in a movie, delivered by Kim Kardashian? She's like, listen, my husband. Well,
I thought you were gonna say the degree one, which I was like, damn.
no, so Judith pops in her office. She's like, he forgot about my birthday. She's like, what about the flowers? It's like, those weren't from him. Those are from somebody else. And she's like, you're forgettable. I was like, God damn, it's her birthday.
But she does. She says,
Bitch didn't say happy birthday.
But
she
she-
forgot the conversation.
That's just fucked up. That's so savage.
I thought you were gonna say. I thought the savage line for me was where they're going back and forth about her clothes in the beginning, and she was like, "Well, I don't need labels. Like, I got a degree," and she's like, "What good is a degree without labels on your back or something?"
Yeah.
I was just like, "Oh."
yeah, I mean, it was clear Tyler Perry wrote this for Kim Kardashian so she could get off these zingers and people in the theater would be like,
I'm pretty sure no one was doing that, Brandon.
You've been to a Tyler Perry movie live. You know how people react to this.
Nobody
No
was
one.
doing it. Maybe in fucking Atlanta, when it was like the fucking.
But also, don't black women not fuck with the Kardashians?
This was
So
back in 2013, though.
black
they
women didn't
still
fuck with
was.
him.
They wasn't
them
fucking with
back then.
Kardashians
Okay.
then.
All right, well.
She had stolen Reggie Bush, nigga.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah,
After the whole Ray J thing, Reggie Bush.
man, she
Then she
that
had
family
Crip
takes a lot of black
Humphreys.
dick.
Okay.
Starting with Ray J, that's when it's just crazy. It's like she could
Well,
have
no. It all went downhill when she started with Ray J.
No, it all went uphill. That's when they became
no,
millionaires.
it went downhill because Ray J is the lowest of the low. She was able to rise from the ashes like the phoenix due to her mother, but the fact that Ray J should have been the thing that tanked her career.
Well, she
because
didn't have
he
a
is the
career
bottom-
before that anyway.
Yeah, she's just Paris Hilton's friend to that point.
Yes, but she also had her little shop that she had.
Little shop of horrors.
Whores?
Horrors.
Little shop of horrors.
Shop of horrors?
Oh my god! I said horrors.
That's what you're saying, whores.
No, horrors.
Whores.
You got
She's a turbo slut.
everyone. You're listening. You hear me say horrors.
Horse.
Whores.
Horrors.
Whores.
Little shop of horrors.
Oars, sluts.
No. Oh God! You guys, you know what I'm saying?
Speech impediment. It's a speech impediment.
See, I say little shop of horrors, but you're saying
Horrors.
whores.
Little shop of horrors.
Horrors.
What is going
If
on?
y'all could see the way Brandon's mouth moved.
Horrors. Horrors.
Trying, man.
Boy.
I'm trying over here.
I'm trying, man.
Okay, I did laugh really hard when Harley said this line when him and Judith get in that fight, and he's looking for his drugs. He's like, "You know, I'm just crazy in love with you, right?" I was like, "Why is this guy so bad?"
Oh, yeah. He's...
Robbie Jones is not good in this.
No, he's not good. He's not good at all.
Listen,
Go away, Robbie.
before I came down here to record with y'all, I decided to refresh by watching the trailers that were released prior to this movie.
Oh, boy.
And they sold us an entirely different movie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like, I mean, yes and no. So they sold us the whole marriage counselor, not being happy with her husband, being swept up by this millionaire/billionaire. We're still not sure what he is, right? And then they play that Rihanna Eminem song.
love the way you lie.
Yeah, that one. And it's like taken, like the whole thing, the trailer, multiple trailers are that way too. And it's all steamy and sexy and like, and I'm just like, that's not what we got.
There's
though.
nothing sexy about this. Even the sexiness that we got in this, we're not enticing at all.
Like it was very like 50 Shades of Grayish.
Well, that's what was probably popping at the time, so that's what they try to market it as. But then you see it and you're like, "Oh, this is garbage."
Yeah, and then we were like hearing about Jesus and HIV.
There's a lot of
and
Jesus
I was just like, this was not what we were sold.
And at the end, at the pharmacy, when she's talking to Bryce, and he's like, "How you doing?" "I'm good. I'm just going to the church. Mom was waiting for me there. Bye." It's just
She's like, Old Man River just keeps on rolling.
she definitely had some Negro spirituals playing in her head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, when
The way
had
she
that
was
limp-
walking.
I don't know what happened. Like, what's the
I wanna
passage
know-
of time?
Yeah, I want to know what happened to Harley. If that's how bad she looks.
Oh, yeah. Him downstairs, for sure.
If it's just so crazy, because I was
Yeah,
just
is
like,
Harley dead after that fight? Like he got pushed through a like
had
glass.
to die of the
also
AIDS
he had a
shortly
lot
after.
of blood, so I'm like,
Yeah, no cross
I'm like,
contamination.
Bro, I'm like, bro, Bryce, you're a doctor, technically. Like, you need to know better. You know what I mean? Because
and technically,
if they're both, let's say they both got cut in their hands and stuff, like, I mean, blood is one of the
she's a
fluids.
doctor too. She is a doctor too.
They're all fucking without condoms.
She just raw dogging him.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you know better.
Listen, let me tell you. When I went in there to go see Harley, when I went back into that building, I'm just like, I'm going to fuck this nigga up. First, once he stood up, I would have been like, oh, this nigga got AIDS. I don't know how I really want to. I don't want to get fisticuffs with him. So I would have just kicked him in the chest right through that glass, and then I would have just kept him moving.
Oh, you would have done a Tommy from Mighty Power Rangers? Just like, who's see ya?
No, I would have just booted him in the chest, a la 300.
And down the pit.
Yeah, and then just said, "Still with my wife," and then walked on out.
And then I would have gotten my wife drug tested. I mean, and STD tested because
When he
No,
carried her,
I would have took her ass to the clinic and just left, because at that point,
I mean, he
do
probably
not care.
did. He probably did.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, but
He's too nice of a
Yeah,
guy.
but he was like at her bedside and stuff, and it was just like, you know, we're getting divorced, right?
Yeah.
Because even when he carries her and she's like, Bryce, can we make it better, baby? He's like,
Nah.
All right, let's go, bro. Let's go. Because I'm like, you literally told him in front of a crowd of people outside a nightclub,
That he
you
ain't
were not
shit.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know how hard that hurts? He's just a dude who had a small dream.
Well, listen, I
Brandon.
think another line.
What?
Go ahead.
Who hurt you?
Everybody. You all heard me on this podcast talking about how I can't pronounce words and shit. Who hurt me? That's a crazy question.
Who was?
Who hurt me? Everybody did. Motherfuckers don't be leaving 5-star reviews no more. I haven't been firm in months. Motherfuckers stop signing up for Patreon and shit. That hurts. Trying to pay for the power and stuff, y'all. Come on, sign up.
You know what, Brandon? I think I'm going to deliver you one of the lines from this film, which definitely put everything into perspective for Bryce's character.
Okay.
Here it is. If you see a moth fighting with bricks, you don't join the fight unless you have one too.
What?
Exactly.
Didn't the moth get squished by the brick?
Exactly. So why did the old woman in the
pharmacy?
in the
Yeah.
pharmacy, she says that, I'm just like, wait, what the fuck is she
But
talking about?
that's what they had to like to pause for laughter and stuff. And I was just like, this movie's out of control with these weird ass jokes.
Yo, it's like every single movie that Tyler Perry made it this time, because he's changed it up. It's just like, he was just like, well, you know, I originally wrote this to be a stage play, but I think we can adapt it. No, you couldn't. These were bad.
So in my trailer rabbit hole on YouTube, I also saw a bunch of interviews. And apparently, Tyler Perry says that Bill Cosby told Tyler Perry to watch out for Journey Smollett when she was a child actor, that she was going to be like a big thing. And Tyler Perry said that as he was adapting this for the screen,
Yeah, because it was a play in 2008.
that he, by the second or third page, thought of Journey Smollett to play this role.
But at the same time, I mean, obviously we look back at Bill Cosby and we're just like, oh boy, you know, when we hear him say anything. But
He had eyes for talent.
He did.
He had a really good eye
But
for talent.
Journey Smollett, like Eve's Bayou, she was phenomenal as a young girl.
Yeah.
I would say, like, you know, they had the, you know, Drew Barrymore. She's a child. Like Journey Smollett, she was actually she as a child, she was on par with a lot of like starlets as adults. So like as far as like her as like. That was very, very true, because I always thought as a kid, I was just like, this girl's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Right.
If Stranger Things was around back then, she would have been leading that shit.
But my thing is this was the movie you were like,
Well, that's another thing.
this
but-
was the role you were like, you know what,
But to that
Journey.
point, this is one of her first leading roles, though. So she's going to take what's getting offered to her as a lead.
true.
You know what I mean? Like,
But isn't it crazy though that this is like, this is not one of her first leading roles, because Eve's Bayou was her first leading role.
I'm just saying, like, as an adult. And
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Yeah. But
Yeah.
the fact is, like, as such, like, almost like a prodigy as a child, as far as acting wise, it then took her to this fucking Tyler Perry dog shit to actually have a film where she was the lead. I mean,
And then another 20 years after that for Lovecraft Country. For
Exactly.
I mean, I know she was in Underground, but like Lovecraft Country is the one that like kind of pushed her to another level. So.
and that's what I'm saying. Is just like, but that just shows
And that's TV.
Well, that's yeah. I mean, because she was in
Wasn't she
the
in-
Birds of Prey, but
Yeah.
she was a supporting cast member. So like people talk about it's just like, you know, it's so hard for women. No, it's so hard for black women. It's like everybody else, go fuck yourself. Because if she was a little white girl and was that talented at that age, she would have been in every fucking thing every single year until she was fucking 132 years old.
Yeah. For sure. And we didn't even know about Jussie at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're never going to learn about Juicy because he's in hiding now.
Juicy. What's his last name?
Smollett. Did
Uh,
I say it right?
Yeah.
You're practicing.
you practicing.
Yeah, that's right. I know some words, y'all.
We used to call him Juicy Sommelier. So
I mean, that's his name.
Oh, and anybody else was cringing every single time that the old white lady kept on calling her a lesbian?
Yes.
Especially
Yes.
after the fact is that they knew that she was being stalked down by her ex-husband.
Where she's like, I thought she was a lesbian.
I was
It's like,
like,
we just went through this.
Have you-
She
have
was
you also
sitting on
not-
the table?
Have you also not read the room of the actors themselves? Like, they had chemistry. Like, it was like,
Yeah.
okay, there's some. That's why I always thought, like, oh, Bryce is going to hook up with her. And then she dropped the bombshell. Everyone who, she's like, I have HIV.
Oh God, I wish we had that fucking scene.
Did we
just
ever
to
hear
it.
Bryce? I mean, Harley.
Harley.
I keep wanting to call him Royals. Then my mind gets fucked up. Did he ever confess that he had HIV? Ever admit that?
No.
No,
So how do we know that Brandy's story is the truth?
because she's a nice woman who found
What
her
if Brandy was secretly the instigator of this whole thing?
Well, then Brandy would have had to been fucking Judith while she was fucking asleep because she got HIV
he's
from
trying to,
Harley.
I think he's trying to posit that Brandy gave Harley HIV, and that turned him, and then that's how.
So basically, what you're saying is that Brandy could be asshole prime, and then
Exactly.
Harley then became an asshole.
Yeah, she could be like the
by
black ass
proxy.
Kaiser Soze, where she's at that shitty ass apartment to throw everybody off, and then she's like, "I'm secretly got all the money and medicine."
I don't think that's what she was.
That would have been a
doing.
good Tyler Perry twist.
No,
But if you know, if you know Tyler Perry, it's usually the men. Like women be trifling, but it's always at the
Yeah.
hands of men. So men are always the devil.
I mean, but the good
Wait,
thing
what?
about no, seriously,
No,
I
that's
mean,
all Tyler
what
Perry
Tyler-
is.
Well, I mean, he also says that light skinned people are the bad guys.
Yeah, that's true. That's
He's
pretty
got some colorism things going on in his movies.
But
which we talked
I
about.
would also just like to point out that Bryce, regardless of obviously being involved with Judith and things like that, he didn't get the AIDS, and I'll tell you why. Because he's a man of God. Because God protected him
yep.
from the AIDS.
I mean,
He's a
God
state
didn't
of
protect
God.
the mom from that hard push that Harvey gave her.
Well, I
Or
mean,
Harley, whatever the fuck this nigga's name
God's everywhere, but not all the time. Don't get
Yeah, he's not in the shadows with Harley as he's entering Judith with. Let me just stop.
Yeah, I was
The
like,
look in your eyes is like, oh no.
Yeah, Justin, break down our rating system, baby.
Don't call me baby, man. Not
It's
after
the
I was just
400th
talking about
episode.
entering.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, yay. I don't know what's going on, but there's people dying all over the place.
I have to say, I think that's like my favorite thing because I tell Brendan all the time. He just sounded like a goose or something, just like honking. He was just like.
I thought it was pretty good. That's a pretty good impression. of
No, no, it's
No, it's
not.
terrible. You're just like a Mac truck. It just came around just a real tight corner. Is about to hit a car. Sorry,
Whatever,
guys.
yo.
Sorry, guys. So, guys, we rate movies, bags of popcorn, small, medium, large, and the XL for the exceptional. If a movie doesn't deserve any popcorn, we throw it into the dog shit pile where we pile piles and piles and piles of dog shit on top of it. So, guys, we sat down and we watched Temptation, Confessions of a Marriage Counselor, which is probably one of the most cuckoo banana movies I've ever seen in my life. Either way, it is starring Journey Smollett, Belle, because
She was married at the time.
No, she got married after.
Well, she was married at the time. What's the problem?
Nothing's the problem.
I was wondering who she married.
I think they're getting divorced though.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think they're. They
That's
separated. 2020. She was married to Josiah Bell.
Okay.
They have another brother named Jake Smollett.
Jinx.
Jake, not Jinx.
Jinx.
Well,
Jake.
Journey
Well, I mean, with
is
the name,
spelled
yeah.
interesting and Jussie, so I actually believed you. Jake is like way too normal at this point.
Okay, so I'm also looking at this thing because I wanted to see who her husband was. He's actually a musician.
Okay.
But also it shows up, coincidentally enough, that she's very active in the HIV and AIDS causes since she was 11. Her first encounter with the disease came at the age of 7 when a crew member on Our Own died of AIDS. She was inspired by the HIV/AIDS survivor, whom she eventually worked with HIV/AIDS awareness. So maybe she actually signed on to this movie
because of
the message and things like that. So I mean, that could be something there.
possible.
I still just think part of it is because Tyler Perry is just crazy and he just likes to throw some AIDS down on anything.
Yeah.
But and maybe, you know what? Maybe that's why she kind of took a step back, because she wanted to be, kind of champion for, HIV awareness.
Yeah, I mean, I might feel a little bit bad that we're shitting all over this movie, but not enough.
Don't. This-
Don't feel bad.
Well, I mean,
Because-
Tyler Perry don't feel bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he feeling good all the way to the bank. He got that fortress in Atlanta.
Yeah, right. So, all right, this movie's starring Journey Smollett, Lance Gross, Brandy Norwood, Vanessa Williams. Terrible accent. Never do that again, Vanessa. I love you so much, but not this. And Kim Kardashian. Tati, what say you?
I say that this is technically one confession, so it's titled inaccurately. So it should
These are
be
my
Confession
confessions.
of a Marriage Counselor.
Just because I want.
What? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think, but okay, so it's going to be a little controversial, but I am going to give this a medium, and I'm giving it a medium because of all of the lines that make this entertaining for all the places that it's not entertaining. So the script writing is not great, but there are some lines in here that are just memorable for all the wrong reasons. And like Brandon said, whenever it is on and available, we do watch it. It's not like we're like, oh no, take it off. We can't. We're like, oh my gosh, go get popcorn. We got to watch from wherever point it's picked up on.
So, Brandon, mute her mic, please.
Well, you're going to be really upset with my rating.
Oh, God.
I'm giving this a large. It's so crazy, dude. I told you, I can't not watch this movie when it's on TV. Dude, Journey Smollett, her performance is batshit. Kim Kardashian over here just burning shit. You got Lance Gross actually trying. She says some shit like, "You're not phenomenal." I'm like, God damn.
Lance Gross got his shirt off.
Yo, he got that rusty ass truck. It's like, come on, man. Yeah, she gonna give up on you.
Jeepers truck.
Correct. And then the mama one, she's like, "Ooh, baby, he got the devil in you." It's like the devil is his dick, and that is a true statement. This is such a great movie. It's so insane. So large for Brandon. This is gonna bump up the tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes. This shit's gonna go fresh.
It's going to go.
It's at
fresh.
17%. It's gonna go up to 47 and be like, Tyler Perry's gonna be like, "Oh well, I'll be."
He's
Unless
just like, more AIDS in movies. The people love it. Yeah, this is a small for me. It's only
Okay,
getting
you're
the
giving it a
small.
popcorn.
It's only getting the small because, regardless of the fact of how terrible this is, and it was still somehow entertaining.
Yes.
Paula started to watch this, and she's just like, "I can't. I'm going to bed." And then when she went to the bathroom, and then I'm like, Paula. They had AIDS at the end out of nowhere. She's like, what? Like, I was excited to tell her how crazy this got because it was on a 9 and then it shot up to 137 for no reason to AIDS.
just to be clear on the disease, they actually were diagnosed with HIV. AIDS is the progression of that.
Yes, yes.
Just want to
but at the same
make sure we're
time,
being fair.
but it seemed like what Harley was doing, he wasn't taking
Oh
care
yeah,
of
he
it.
was doing some Law and Order SVU shit.
Harley had full-blown AIDS. Okay, Harley was not playing any games.
That's probably
He's
why he jogged all the
taking
time.
my
He was trying to keep
medicine.
fit.
He's like, I'm not playing. Yeah, well, true, but that ain't gonna help you though.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he's doing drugs and drinking alcohol. Like
Yeah, his immune system is all sorts of
drinking
messed
like Justin Bieber in that fucking pop star video. I got a good one and a heavy laugh.
He just
how it could be fun.
we were doing all things black right now. We were doing so well.
He got to bring in Justin Timberlake.
Well, Justin Bieber, nigga.
It's
Oh,
white.
either way, even worse actually. Even worse, nigga.
Tati, thank you so much for joining us for episode 400. Tell the people how they can follow you.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Boricua Collins.
All right, y'all can follow me at American Collins, AmericanCollins.com. You can follow the show at Media MP Podcast on all social media platforms. Request to join the Facebook group, be part of some fun discussions over there. And then just tell people how they can follow you and how they can support the show financially.
Guys, you can take yourselves down to Jay Brown Did It on Twitter and Instagram. Check me out. I'm on there. But if you're looking for the show and you want to see how you can support us, take yourselves over to Jesus Christ, to patreon.com/medium popcorn. We got the $5, $10, and $15 package. But let's not forget, we brought the $2 back. So guys, jump on that as well. If you're feeling like, it's like, oh man, it's hard this month, bump down to $2. You'll still get the rent. You still get What Am I Watching? You'll still get access to the Zoom party replay, at the end. Guys, you're winning, baby. You're winning. But if you're feeling extra froggy, take yourself over to tpublic.com/medium popcorn and grab yourself a little swag. Swaggadose.
Don't forget, though, too, you guys have an amazing YouTube channel. So everybody should like and subscribe that as well.
That's right. Check those out. Got some interviews over there. We interviewed Kelvin Harrison Jr.
Oh, it's Kelvin Harrison Jr.
Such a sweet man.
Our love.
And speaking of Journey Smollett, Brendan, did you get an opportunity to
Oh, yeah, that's right. I interviewed her for the Lovecraft Country along with Michael K. Williams and Pooh Face himself, Mr. What the fuck is his name? From Lovecraft Country. Shit.
Edit that out.
Guys, why don't you go check out Lovecraft's Country? Cause that's so much bad
Jonathan Majors.
suffering.
Jonathan Majors.
I blinked. I know all these celebrities. Come on, y'all. I'm gonna do some studying. I got some podcasts coming up. I need to know my movie shit.
All right.
But in the meantime, everybody, we really appreciate you rocking with us for 400 strong episodes. Christ. It's actually more than that when you put in Patreon. We're like at 400 something at this point. I mean, 800.
Yeah, because that's how we roll, guys.
Yeah,
bang,
but
bang.
If you're looking for some more bonus content, you're like, damn, I just want some more. Go to Patreon. But in the meantime, we appreciate y'all. Listen to our stories, our madness, and looking forward to another 400. Mm-hmm. And remember, don't keep it inside. Don't keep the secrets inside. AIDS. On the side.
I got herpes on my dick. Damn it.
I don't know what to do. I guess I gotta give part two of my confession. If I'm gonna tell it, then I gotta tell it all. Damn, we cried when I got the phone call. I'm so low.
I was going to ad-lib on top of that song, talking about the herpes that he got growing on his song.
Oh, no! Oh, wah.
Usher was throwing Usher dollars at the strip club.
That's a great story.
But you cut it off, so that's a dub.
Ooh, Tati's got buzz.
Watch this.
Medium popcorn. We are two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me. And Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault.